Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kalonzo Musyoka has a master plan against Uhuru Kenyatta in Raila Odinga's presidency. This has been seen as a rush, or rather a scramble to be Raila Odinga's deputy. But by all indications, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka realized that Raila Odinga was not going to give him the second spot unless something changes, even though there is still a possibility of him getting that. Today, on Sunday, the 15th of May, Raila Odinga held a rally in Kamkunji. And I followed that rally because first they had hyped that Raila Odinga will use that rally to announce the running mate. But somewhere around 11 a.m. in the morning, the head of presidential communications, Makau Mukua, shared a memo saying that Raila Odinga was going to name the running mate on Monday, and Raila would also confirm later that the running mate is to be named in KICC. So Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka skipped that event, and I think it is not even skipped because he had not mentioned that he was going to attend, and even Raila was in Mombasa, and he was not with Raila. He rarely campaigns, so mostly he spends most of his time in Karen. In fact, if you ask me, if there is a leader that is most comfortable in this country, is Kalonzo Musyoka, because he will only leave Karen and go and campaign in Taita Taveta. Another day leave Karen, go to Makueni. Another day leave Karen, go to Kitui. He will not go outside those counties and at least have a stretch to Mombasa when need be. Now, after that, Mutule Kilonzo Jr. will confirm to the media that Kalonzo skipped the Kibra event, or rather the Kamkunji event, because he was afraid of his safety, and trying to refer to the incident in Mombasa where Mike Sonko was actually chased from Raila Odinga's rally. Now, the notion they were trying to create, and actually this is why there is a problem, because the kind of friction that Kalonzo Musyoka has had with Raila would most probably not augur well, and Kalonzo would even be heckled in a rally where they are attending with Raila Odinga, unless Raila Odinga publicly comes to announce him as the running mate. The statements he's been issuing and the threats, I think, is already creating that division. And I was just talking to a friend. If Kalonzo Musyoka is afraid of attending a rally that is a Raila rally in Kamkunji because of what happened to Sonko, so did they plan so that they skip that? That is not it. But then even down there to the supporters, this might cascade down, and an animosity would actually build between Raila supporters and Kalonzo supporters. And I don't want to get into that. Apparently, when he was making that statement, Kalonzo Musyoka was meeting Gideon Moi. Gideon Moi is the only founder amongst the founder members of One Kenya, the OKA, the defunct OKA. And I've just realized that the other members of that alliance, Jimmy Kibaki, I think, left the alliance. Then the MP from Ugenya is also not very visible. And I don't know where Cyrus Jirongo vanished. He was available somewhere in March, but I think he also vanished in thin air. So the meeting between Kalonzo and Gideon Moi, I think, in my own understanding, it will not go without trying to divulge on the political conversation that is going on in the country. And that is perhaps why that meeting was held. Now, Raila is to name his running mate in a very complicated environment where everyone wants to be the running mate. So in this video, I want us to look at some three developments around this issue that informs me to see that it is not about Raila Odinga's running mate. Because even the way is demanded for it and they've insisted, I think it is just a bait. The running mate is just a bait. Because even Kalonzo Musyoka is know the fact that Raila to win the general election, there is high chances are he needs to go to central Kenya to neutralize Ruto's influence there, so that if he has Kalonzo and neutralize Ruto's influence in central Kenya, he'll get it. Other than going to pick the 1.5 million in Ukambani, but it will still not make an impact because he has to destroy the 2013 and 2017 tyranny of numbers. So I want us to look at that. But before we do that, kindly, if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, I want to humbly request you to subscribe. The one strategy that they're using is the independent candidature threat. This information that Kalonzo Musyoka is going to vie as an independent candidate presidency, I want to treat it as a threat. The reason it is a threat is because, according to the Election Act of 2011, you can only vie as an independent candidate and you must not be a member of political party for the last, 4 months. So as we talk now, Kalonzo Musyoka is a member of Wiper Party and is a member of Azimio la Umoja Coalition, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya party. So he's a member of that party, and by law, what this would mean is that he's going to contest his candidature in the High Court. I understand that they had joined an, I think a case that was submitted, was taken to court by Alfred Mutua and some other small parties within the Azimio la Umoja. Alfred Mutua and I think with the PA. So they have also joined that case. It remains a threat because what will happen is, by the time the court is to determine his candidature, maybe he will come back and he will still be in Azimio. And with that, the negotiations will be that Raila has already named the running mate. So what is his stake in the government? And I see that one as strategy number one. Number two is Kalonzo wants to complicate Nairobi and Mombasa governorship matrix. The Wiper leadership withdrew from Raila campaigns. In Mombasa, Mike Sonko is deliberately being planned there. And I realized the plan by Kalonzo is that if Mike Sonko is going to be blocked, then they're going to field a Wiper candidate that can be supported by Mike Sonko, because Mike Sonko shall have amassed some support, and now will be getting the support from the coast. So when these two, because Kalonzo knows very well that President Uhuru Kenyatta has interest in the Mombasa seat and also especially in Nairobi. So with trying to destabilize the arrangement, because the truth of the matter here is, if within Azimio, Wiper and ODM, or Wiper and Jubilee, are going to clash in a seat that in the caliber of a governor, then most likely UDA would pita hapo katikati and they would most likely win. So I can surely say that Nairobi and Mombasa governorship races are on table for Kalonzo Musyoka to share. Because one thing he has known is that Jubilee and ODM have carried the lion's share of that government. But now this ploy is to make sure that he outsmarts Uhuru. Lastly, he has rejected any Raila succession plan. And when he was talking in last press, I was mentioning that let's settle 2022, and someone should not promise me that is going to support me in 2027, or maybe I'm going to take charge of Raila. Now that leaves him in a very easy situation where he only has to deal with what Raila can give him as a presidential candidate or as a presidency. Now, I think it is keen, but I support that it's not cool, and he's coming from a very dangerous, very critical background, where 2017 he was supposed to be supported in 2022, and that did not happen. So, however, he should also craft his succession plan outside Raila Odinga, or rather, if he was to support Raila Odinga now, after all this back and forth, then most likely he will inherit a chunk of support from Azimio. So even if he will cross over to support another candidate or be supported by another candidate, but he will go with the backing of the traditional Azimio La Umoja supporters, or both the CORD and NASA supporters of 2013 and 2017. So, however, withdrawing from Raila's succession plan or any other candidate is one of the plots to make sure that in part of that negotiation, it is concentrated on what Raila can get or what Kalonzo Musyoka can get if Raila Odinga is the president. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my analysis, and let's wait to see what Kalonzo or how it will play out when Raila announces his running mate.